My grandma left me a $412,000 inheritance in 2024, and I lost 47% of it in the first 11 months. Not in crypto, not in a scam. I lost it to lifestyle. Lifestyle expansion is the most expensive thing nobody warns inheritors about. By the end of this video, you will see the exact monthly burn timeline, the 4 lifestyle traps that did the damage, and the system I am running right now to stabilize the remaining 218,000 before it disappears too. Look, here's the thing. Heads up. This is educational, not financial advice. Inheritance situations are highly personal. Talk to a tax person before you make moves with sudden money. So what's up? I'm Andre. I run the channel where we talk about money decisions out loud, including my own bad ones. Telling this story is uncomfortable, but I think there are people in the comments dealing with sudden money right now who need the warning. The 4 lifestyle traps are the same ones lottery winners hit. They're not exotic. They look reasonable in the moment. Let's get into it. Trap 1 was housing upgrade. 6 weeks after the inheritance landed, my wife and I moved from a 2-bedroom apartment at $2,400 a month to a 3-bedroom house at $5,100 a month. We put $120,000 down. The monthly burn jumped $2,700. That sounds modest. Over a 30-year window, that is $972,000 of difference. Worse, we now have to furnish, maintain, insure, and pay property tax on a bigger space. The actual monthly delta in our budget, once everything settled, was $4,100 a month, not $2,700. Trap 2 was vehicle upgrade. Replaced both cars within 4 months. Total spend, $87,000 cash on 2 SUVs. The thing nobody mentions about new vehicle: registration, insurance, and depreciation. New monthly burn on transportation jumped from $480 a month to $1,340 a month. Most of that is invisible because depreciation does not show up on your bank statement until you sell. Look, trap 3 was the one I'm most embarrassed about. Restaurant and travel inflation. Once you have money, you stop seeing $40 on a dinner as a decision. You see it as a default. We started going out 3 times a week. Took 2 international trips in 9 months. The total spend on lifestyle category was about $38,000 over the year. That sounds modest, but the compounding is what kills you. Once you set a baseline of 3 dinners a week and 1 trip a quarter, that baseline does not come down naturally. You have to actively pull it back. Trap 4 was family pressure. My brother needed help with his student loans. My sister wanted to renovate her kitchen. My parents subtly mentioned a roof replacement they had been deferring. None of these were unreasonable. The combined transfer was about $67,000. I do not regret any single one of those decisions. I regret not having a system before saying yes to any of them. Here is the shared trigger I want you to hold on to. The reason sudden money disappears is not because the inheritor is irresponsible. It is because the lifestyle baseline resets to match the new wealth level, but income does not. You spend like $1 million net worth person on a salary that pays you to live on a $150,000 person budget. The math is mechanical. 87% of inheritances over $500,000 are spent down to zero within 5 years, per a Williams Group wealth consultancy study. That is the median, not the worst case. Now the stabilization system I am running. Step 1. I drew a hard line at the remaining $218,000, wrote it in the journal, moved the funds to a separate Schwab account with 2-factor authentication and a partner password to transfer out. The friction is intentional. Step 2. I am rolling the funds into a 3-bucket structure. Bucket 1, $50,000 emergency reserve in a high-yield savings account at 4.7%. Bucket 2, $100,000 into VTI index fund. Bucket 3, $68,000 into TLT bonds and treasuries. The allocation does not matter as much as the rule that none of these funds get touched for monthly expenses. Step 3, and this is the hardest. I sold the bigger house. We moved back into a 2-bedroom rental. The monthly burn dropped back to where it was before the inheritance. The shame of moving backward in housing was substantial. The math made it the only honest call. Step 4. I set up a once-a-month family meeting where we look at the bucket balances together and write down what we spent the previous month. No judgment, just visibility. Look, here's the thing. What is the lifestyle category in your life that quietly inflated the most over the last 3 years? Drop in the comments. The honest answer for most people is restaurants and subscriptions, but I want to hear yours. Specific helps. I want to be honest about what I might be wrong about. The choice to sell the new house was not unambiguously correct. We might have been able to grow into it. The kids will remember it. The neighborhood was excellent. The math says it was right. The emotional part says it was a loss. No answer, humility. This depends on your situation, your timeline, and how much your particular family values stability versus optionality. Look, here's the thing. If you're about to inherit money, or you just did, the move that compounds the most is to put the funds somewhere you have to actively retrieve them rather than passively spend from. That single thing, friction between you and the funds, is what separates the 87% who lose it from the 13% who keep it. The system does not have to be elaborate. It just has to be present before the first spending decision. Hit subscribe. Next week, I am breaking down the exact tax strategy one should have run on the inheritance the day I received it. There are 3 things the IRS treats differently if you act within 90 days of receiving an inheritance versus after. I missed 2 of them, and it cost me about $14,000 in deferred capital gains option. That video might save you from making the same mistakes.